Hey guys, welcome in. So I had another long, busy day. I apologize for getting this Friday reading to you right before Saturday, but maybe you're in a time zone that's behind me, so that's beneficial for you. Anywho, what does my beautiful collective need to know about your twin flame? So on Fridays, I always stick to twin flame readings. So I pull specific love decks or even more specific twin flame and soulmate decks. So let's see what comes up for you. I always like to start off with a basic tarot read, and then we'll keep pulling from there with some other oracle decks. Ooh, this one wants to flip. The Chariot in reverse. So somebody's got a lack of direction, but, ooh, okay. A reconciliation wants to come in. Again, though, two different lack of directions with the Chariot in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. Somebody's super conflicted right now with not being able to step into this reconciliation and like truly celebrate and be happy. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's see. 1, 2, whoop, and 3. The 10 of Wands in reverse for our past placement, which says it all. You or your significant other feels like they are carrying a heavy burden. You're doing it all. There needs to be a grand release here. You're definitely overstressed, or your person is overstressed. When I'm talking about my twin flame collective, both of you guys are mirroring your emotions and your thoughts. So you're both burnt out. You're both overthinking things. And you've got a lot that you're holding on to that you're just not letting go. Okay. And then in our present placement, the Ace of Wands. Again, this came up yesterday. Okay, you guys. Collective's feeling strong here. There's definitely a new potential beginning here. Some kind of growth opportunity for this relationship. Yesterday, it was more about an opportunity in business. So I'd like to see what comes up in our love life today. But both of you are inspired. There's this urge to start something new, to create together. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, come on. You guys want to build this castle in the sky together. I feel like it's your divine purpose. You see how anytime there's a hand coming from the clouds, I truly believe that it's divinely orchestrated. It's like the people from above, whoever that may be for you, your angels, spirit guides, goddesses, gods, higher power, source, universe, doesn't matter. They want this to happen. They're literally handing you this opportunity, this wand, this magical wand, right? And the Ace of Wands for me is like you're stepping in to your willpower. You're literally being handed your purpose, your mission. Yeah, okay. And there's a path, and it leads to the mountain range. It leads to this grand castle that's yours. As soon as you let go of that stuff from the past. And our, that's confirmation for my dryer. A cycle's finishing out. Okay, so stepping into the future. There's still some disagreements. We have a bit of tension happening. I feel like this is tension coming from external sources. 5 in particular with the 5 of Wands. It may be competition. Obviously, you guys getting back together is not in agreement for outside public opinions. So that may mean you've got some friends or family members or just the peanut gallery putting in their 2 cents, and that is going to lead to some conflict here. Some kind of strife to this change. All right, let's see what's going on. And for our bottom of the deck. So what you don't see coming is the Fool in the upright. So we definitely have a new beginning here with this beautiful opportunity. right? This opportunity is coming in currently. This is in your present placement. And for our overview, what's at hand for the entire situation that I'm talking about, we've got a new beginning with the Fool. This is like endless possibilities. You're being spontaneous. This is just having blind faith with life and trusting that even if it feels like you're on the edge, this is like you're acting through pleasure and through adventure, and you're here for it. Both parties are. So we love that. So again, that's what you don't see happening at the bottom of the deck. This unlimited possibility. And for the overall situation, the Knight of Swords, once again, somebody is being very ambitious and coming in fast. They're defending their beliefs and they are putting action towards this, finally moving towards their success, whatever that success means for this relationship or in your life. But it's ruled by a double air sign. Capricorns and Aquarius. To be specific, rule this specific card, but any air signs are relevant. Yeah. This is a yes. So if you had a specific question to the universe about who this knight is that's coming in this steadfast with action, then it's a yes from the universe. And it's directly correlated to this potential beginning with this new growth opportunity that's divinely orchestrated. But again, even though it's like both parties, this could mainly represent you or it could represent your specific person, your twin flame, a bit of both. Remember, you guys are already always mirroring each other. But on either end of the spectrum, in the past and in the future, we do have conflict here where it just feels like a heavy burden of truly stepping into this new opportunity towards growth and a successful union. Other outside parties aren't going to be happy. There will be some rivalry or competition, or at least tensions, and it's stressing both parties out in the past, like, with a lot of release that needed to happen. But with the Fool on the bottom of the deck, this is coming in, whether you're ready or not. And once it does happen, you will be spontaneous about it. So I love that for you. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with what my collective needs to know on the Oracle side of things. So I always like to do Oracle tech right after I pull the tarot deck. It just helps me get a better overall view with specifics. Hello, Bogart. My Bogart baby coming in to say hello. Ooh, and we had another one fly out. Possibilities. What did I say? Possibilities. Free-spirited adventure and risks. So that's it. That one flew out at me. So I'm going to put that over here for the what's at hand. You guys are acting through this new opportunity that's coming through. You're going to be very free-spirited about it and just take the adventure, no matter what the risks are in the future with these disagreements or tensions. You both are going to say, you know what? I'm going for the gold. I'm getting the grain. I am heading towards these possibilities, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. Excuse you, sir. Gold and gold. We got a gold kitty and a gold card. My baby. We got to come over here. Yes, yes, yes. Say hello. He has a cute little tie, but he crinkled it. I'm going to say hello to the collective. Come on. Stop being funny. You got to look at the camera. He's camera shy. Okay. Well, then can we get down, sir? No, don't scratch me. Nope. Thank you. Of course, he got my pants. It happens. At the bottom of the deck, there's chemistry. There are fireworks when this comes in. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of passion. You're going to feel that instant spark again. And that's what's going to want to make this night move forward so fast. Okay, so for the past, somebody had set some clear boundaries and said no. Like, They obviously drew a line and put up some barbed wire and made it very much so an intense boundary. So I really feel like this was what caused a lot of this burden and overstressing that we were carrying prior, because somebody didn't want you to come through. They didn't want you to penetrate their heart. They didn't want you to penetrate their mind, what they were really thinking, feeling. This could be you. Remember, whatever I talk about could always be roles reversed. If I ever talk about masculine or feminine, again, roles can be reversed. It doesn't matter how you identify as yourself. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. So take that and allow it to enter in however it resonates. Okay, so for our present placement, it could also be what's happening in our physical timeline, in our bodies physically. Fantasy, purple roses could be significant. You guys are daydreaming about each other, imagining, fantasizing about this potential new beginning with one another. It's very beautiful. It's hot and steamy. You notice the dew on the roses. You guys are fantasizing about each other. This could even daydreaming. I'm also getting the sense of the purple, the deep purple. Maybe somebody had a nighttime dream that was a very hot and steamy fantasy dream, if you catch my drift. With this Ace of Wands here. Okay. So, yeah, it just seemed like a lot of heavy conflict in the past, and that's why somebody had to set up some clear boundaries and walked away. They drew a line. They said, no, enough. But they walked away carrying this really heavy burden, and they weren't able to release you. I'm assuming that they correlated you as the burden or you to the burden, but they realized that they weren't ever able to release it. Like, they thought by getting away from you or by you getting away from them that you'd be able to continue on, but that's not how this twin flame journey works. It's a dark night of the soul. You have to, once you're on it, you're on it, baby. You got to take the ride and sail through the journey, and it's a heavy one. I'm not going to lie. It's not as free-spirited and light as a soulmate journey. Soulmates are usually like happy. No relationship is just clear free coasting, but there's a definite dark night of the soul when it comes to the evolutionary process of a twin flame union. Both parties have a deep awakening when they meet each other, and they usually have a disconnect, if not multiple, because they're learning, they're growing, they're transforming, they're being reborn into this new identity of mind, body, soul. So yeah, it's gonna require some clear boundaries and some isolation, some solitude, and you guys can't ever really, I always say, how you can know that this is like truly your twin flame is if you just can't get them out of your head. A few months, a few years can go by, and you will always think about this other person. And listen, I'm never trying to tell people to toxically be obsessed or do anything crazy. No. This is your healing evolution. You do your internal work. You leave them be to do their internal work, and you guys will come together because it's like magnets. You just have to. You are just drawn to each other mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and sexually sometimes too. So it is what it is. Like, you guys have the ultimate trifecta of this kind of connection, and that's how you'll know that you are daydreaming and nighttime fantasizing about one another, no matter how long you've been in separation. Okay. So to clarify over this 5 of Wands in the future placement could be related to our soul. Yeah, we're depleted. We are drained. This has been a really long journey, and that's why it just feels we're so conflicted. There's a lot of tension here. Look at this long, lonely road of exhaustion. See all of the fighting? Like, it feels like all of these external factors. Maybe you guys live in different parts of the world. Maybe your families didn't approve of each other. Maybe your friends didn't approve of each other. Maybe your jobs didn't coincide with one another. Your religious beliefs didn't coincide with one another. And it just seems like such a depleting, long road ahead of you. So this leads to exhaustion, whether you're in separation or trying to make this union happen right now. It is a draining one. But if you just take a moment and take a breath and look up at the possibilities of how beautiful this sky is, you're going to see the light. You're going to see these possibilities. Okay. One more for the what's at hand. Thinking. Yeah. They're missing you. You're both missing each other. There's a lot of desire, a lot of craving. Look at this. If you notice in the window, they wrote, "I miss you." You know, I always do that when I'm in the shower and it fogs up. That's why there's going to be so much ambition and action when this knight in shining armor finally does decide to want to come in. It's because they're just missing you so much. They're thinking about you and they want to come in. They eventually won't be able to take it. Okay, let me take a sip of water. Hydrate, guys. It's important. I don't do it enough. I don't know if this is a good brand, but I refilled the bottle anyways. So I use my, I have a Kangen machine. It's supposed to be like one of the best water filters. So look into your waters. That's important. Not all water is created equal, unfortunately. Okay, another tarot deck. This is my specific twin flame awakened path deck. None of these companies sponsor me, but it's okay because I know you guys asked me what decks I'm using, and I am doing this for you guys, so I'm happy to share. What does my twin flame collective need to know? What does my twin flame collective need to know? Anything that falls out at me is going for the what's at hand. Anything else goes in order. Anything else? Oh, look at that. High Priestess. You guys, we're on a roll because you see me shuffling and like the same cards that came out in my last few readings are popping out again, which means our collective energy is strong. So we've got the High Priestess here. There's some kind of hidden knowledge, but your intuition knows it. It's this internal knowing deep inside here in your soul, in your mind. It may be mysterious, magical energies at work, but you freaking know. Like, look at her. You see this High Priestess, this goddess, looking down at her magical orb. This moon vessel. The High Priestess is also known for a lot of fertile energy. It could be literal physical fertility, and it could also mean just fertile with prosperity and abundance and life force energy, with what the divine feminine is all about, right? We have the ability to grow and create. So that kind of energy is coming through very strongly for our what's at hand. That's what they're missing. They're missing how their intuition just knows how divine the feminine is. Number 2, High Priestess is number 2. That's all about union, coming together, those souls being reunited. Okay. Our what's at, no, that was our what's at hand. So our past placement over the boundaries. Talk about the boundaries. The Seven of Wands. They felt like they had to defend themselves. They were in like this protection mode. Almost felt like they had to stand their ground against external forces too. Not you in per se, but like I said earlier, there's just so many external factors going against this union, and trying to guide them on this different path. And they really had to be in the self-preservation energy. We have fire energy with this Seven of Wands and this beautiful elephant being depicted here. But unfortunately, even though the elephant is such a gentle giant, they're always having to be in this protection mode, defending themselves and, you know, setting these boundaries, because the world is, you know, potentially a dangerous place for them. And that's why they're very stressed. There's a lot of stress and release that needed to be happened in the past. But it was to learn these lessons, right? That we don't want to lead towards overexhaustion, but it had to lead to this solitude time. Okay, and then our fantasy over the fantasy, clarifying our present placement. The Ten of Cups. You guys just want to be happy. You guys want the harmony. You want the family eventually. You want this emotional stability. The Ten of Cups is like everything coming together. You know, maybe you guys don't all believe in having babies or getting married, but it's that sense of joy and abundance and love. That's what's happening here. Like, you guys are both stepping into the realization that happiness is all you're trying to seek. And that harmony and happiness doesn't come through until these two parties come together in union. Notice how there's 2 cups of wine here, and it's ruled by a water sign. 10 of Cups, baby. That's what we're fantasizing about. Imagining the what ifs. What if it worked out? What if you did marry this person? What if you did have a family and move in together and created this stability? Okay. And then in our future placements, to clarify over this exhaustion and tension with outside sources. Yeah, it's a very long journey ahead. Can we clarify over this? The Hierophant. We're getting a lot of fertile energy again, but the Hierophant, that's like commitment. This is someone who is very traditional. They come from a higher learning and their belief system is very strong. So they're a strong-willed, clear-minded person who was highly educated and doesn't just believe anything that people put on them. They are strong in their convictions of what they believe and what their path is and who they want their path to be with. Because check out the picture with the masculine's hands over the feminine's, both creating that heart together. 5 is great change. We've got Faye coming through. Hello, Faye, my fairy child. You gonna say hi to the collective? Look at them. You say hi? Yeah, I'm just getting wedding vibes here, like a commitment. She's in a white dress. They're seemingly taking wedding photos in a traditional manner. And you guys believe in the same things. So I'm getting that you guys actually both come from these external sources. You know, this doesn't pertain to anybody, but I'm getting that the external sources are more of like the peanut gallery's opinions rather than not so much your belief systems. I feel like you guys both come from a very strong, similar belief system. You're both very spiritual, or you both have the same religious background or a similar one. You guys both are very educated, intelligent people who always ask questions and are continuously inquiring about the world and how it works and how it's being justified, right? Excuse you. Can you please move your butt? Thank you. Oh, how did I know that was going to happen? Let's see. What'd you drop? No. You stay down there, please, and thank you. So I'm not going to lie to you. It will be an exhausting conflict. She got cat hair everywhere. Attached to my lip gloss. Love that. It's going to be a long road towards this Hierophant commitment of eventually getting married, and this great change of, even if it's not on the far end of the spectrum of commitment of getting married to one another, it could just be this commitment of coming together and fully being committed to one another. I've cat hair everywhere. Maybe that's relevant. Somebody has a cat. I don't know. Okay. And then one more for what's at hand, since our Hierophant or High Priestess flew out at us. What you don't see at the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of clarity coming through here. Like, you both are seeing the truth finally. Whoever was the more stubborn one in the beginning is having these new ideas and thinking about the triumph or this actually having a victory outcome. So we're cutting through a lot of the mental fog and we're stepping into this truth. That's what we don't see coming. Okay, Seven of Cups. There's choices. There's a lot of indecision here, but there's opportunities through this. It's like, you're met with fantasy and illusions and practicality, choices and opportunities with work and friends and potentially other lovers, but they're not going to be your soulmate or your twin flame. So yeah, we feel like we've got these 7 cups of all of these different choices, and somebody's faced with having to make that tough decision. I don't think it's that tough of a decision to make, right? Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the planet of deciding, important things. It'll come to you. This looks at first like it's I'm going to show you this card. I'm going to kind of cover it slightly just so nobody gets upset, but it's just paint. Your first instinct when you see this is overwhelm, potentially even fear or anxiety, because it looks overwhelming, right? With so many options, with all of these different hands, and then being painted in this red blood. But when you really look at it, it's in the shape of a heart. So if you follow your heart, then that decision's not that hard, huh? The decision is always to follow your heart. Choose through love. Okay. Woo! Let's keep going. Oh my God, I'm already at 30 minutes, you guys. What do we think? Should we do a part 2? Because I know your attention span's just not there anymore, right? That's what it is. Anywho, my name's Kat. This is my channel, Pure Premonitions. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in and all of the comments and the messages, because literally helps me connect to you guys, and it lets me know that I'm not just talking to myself in a camera. I am actually getting through and resonating with some of you guys, because I never know who these messages are for. But I'm so happy to do this for you guys, with you guys. I'm part of the collective too. So I love you. Thank you. And I'll see you guys in part 2.